We are all source energy experiencing itself in all forms of life in the material world, and continuous problem solving is all not real. We're all here creating movement, and movement creates created creates energy for its own very existence, which is food for source, very existence. Yep, and they thought Einstein was crazy too. Let me kind of explain what I'm trying to express here. As you get older, 74 now, going on 74 in a month, and retired, you have time to think about things and to think about life in general and your life and the seriousness of life. And I've been born a religious person of faith of the Baptist persuasion and about God. And as I look at things, and we ask, a lot of things happen that we have to ask ourselves, how can a loving God let this happen? Or how could this happen and that happen? But we have to realize that everything is seeking balance in the universe. You can't have good without bad. You can't have up without down. You you just nothing can exist alone of its own because everything created has to have a balance or looking for balance, because if it didn't look for balance, there would be no existence because there would be no reason for movement. And through that movement, it creates energy, which is source's very existence. And what religion creates with all of us is division and imbalance, because we're killing each other really over nothing, for land and for material things that we can't even take with us. So I said, well, why is all of this happening? And I said, okay, it's got to be a deeper reason. And it's because the very universe works off of movement. Movement creates energy, which energy creates existence. So the primary reason and the only reason we are here is for movement, which creates existence. Creates energy, which is source. Energy is food for source. This is my thinking now. If you want to put a comment, be nice and, make sure I'm not thinking I'm losing my mind. I've been a sound and responsible person all my life. And since I know source is energy, you're going to have the good and bad. I've always tried to weigh heavily on the good. So, but still, there's so much agony and pain in the world. I have to look at it on a more realistic basis other than religion, because you will go nuts thinking that, okay, pray for God and pray to God, and still terrible, terrible things are happening in the world. And you're looking for a better outcome, and you'll get to the point where you're depressed and thinking that life is not worth living, and there's no God, or there is a God, and if there is a God, why did he let my mother and dad get killed in a car accident when I was only 12 years old? Or why did my mother die when I was just getting ready to graduate from college? Or why I'm now at 74, a tornado came and tore up my whole home, and if it wasn't for the grace of God or goodness or whatever y'all want to call them, that I was prepared to be able to repair my home. But even through that, I'm still feeling dread for I think in St. Louis was 80% of the people didn't have home insurance, and their homes are over 100 years old. And a lot of those people were elderly people like myself because they couldn't afford the insurance. They never thought a tornado at 80, 70, 80, and 90 years old would come and devastate their homes. So that just goes to show you never get too old for bad things to happen in your life. And can you prepare for all of it? No. None of us going to be prepared for the things that can happen in our lives. But we have to look at things realistically. We just can't pray for God or things to save us. We have to realize that we have to make the best of being source energy food and movement and do things for ourselves and come together as human loving beings, because I think that we're the greatest creation of source, the genius of source creation. And we're only here for one thing, is to take care of the planet and to take care of each other. But without no movement, there would be no source. There would be no energy. There would be no God. There would be no existence if there was no movement. You can't have a plus unless you have a minus. So there's going to always be good, there's going to always be bad, or there's going to always be positive and negative energy, seeking balance to create energy for everything in the universe and in the world's very existence. I hope I kind of explained this thought. I know people look for me for pick three, but there's a lot to life, a lot to want to understand. And to me, this is it. Everything that exists creates movement. Movement creates energy, which is food for source. Tell me what you think. All right, everybody. Like I always say, play them till they come, make that money, y'all. Peace and love. God bless. And if you track it, you'll soon be packing to Lucky Town.